Here I'm going to talk about my next assignment, which was a public genre, where I talked about my overall topic and found a source for it and created this overall public genre, which I chose to be a brochure. And in this reflection, I will go over what some of those processes that I went through, how I created my overall public genre, and I provided a first draft and a final draft along with final links to my brochure and final link to my final public genre reflection paper. So here I will kind of go over the whole process of this assignment, which was again choosing a particular source that best fits my overall topic, which was the effects of bullying in schools. And I found one that gave those specifics, information about intervention and prevention, steps that other people can take, including teachers, students, parents, and also gave out more information that I was able to use to create my public genre, which I decided to be a brochure because brochures are helpful and provide information, and I felt that the information that came from my source allowed me to create into a helpful brochure that gave out the information along with the information about bullying in general, gave that information to a specific broad audience of whoever needed that. Down here, I kind of go over my revision process. So I started with a brochure, and then I also provided, again, a link to my final public genre reflection, which goes into detail about my overall revision in specifics and what I was looking for when I was going from my first draft to my final draft, and just my thought process through that all. And it will give a better vision, and I can kind of go over that as well. And I found that my biggest revision was making placement changes to improve the flow and made the text overall simpler to read, eye-appealing. I wanted it to be professional, educational, and just easy on the eyes, not too much information, but enough to where someone's not going to feel that they didn't get enough information. So as you can see, I made those changes specifically where the second column I switched to the back, switched those just to make a better flow, which was suggested by my instructor. I also moved around some quotes as well, and to allow a better flow of that, and I fixed any references that I need to, took out any in-text citations that were not needed, as you will not see because it was part of a different process. But overall, I switched the placement and wanted to create a more professional overall feel, which I feel that I've created, and I feel very proud of what I created and feel that it would be helpful if we're to use as a brochure. So I will not go into super details in depth, but here is my public genre reflection, which again, I talk about the beginning of when I first decided to create the brochure and my audience, which I wanted to be a wide range of people, including parents, students, teachers, healthcare providers, of this topic. And here I talk about what I wanted to consider, which was the pros and cons of the structure, how can you address bullying, and then providing those suggestions of prevention and intervention, and then also provide options, the approaches that people should avoid, which is all from the source, the article that I use. And then I go into more detail about the information I got, how I wanted it to look, the overall look, and why I put quotes in different places and used different icons, and felt that as I moved from my first draft into my final draft, that I will make some changes along with some actors that I provided and my works cited.